I'm Mark Lieberstein. I don't exactly have a title. I guess I'm director of the Little League, but I guess I'm also sort of the guy who does the Yom Hashoah programs every year for the temple. And it's really been an honor for me to do that because I've done Legos and I've done movies and I've had Holocaust survivors. This year I thought about doing something different. It really came from a New York Times article that I read about our lecture speaker tonight, Dr. Neuborn. He's written a book about how the Jews fought back. All the things that we've done in the past, they've reminded us of how we suffered, how the Jews suffered, and how the Nazis almost destroyed us. This is about how the Jews fought back. And I'll describe the program in more detail later, but I thought you wanted to know, I thought that you might want to know how it all came about. And so tonight what we're first going to do is remember. We're going to do a little candlelighting ceremony and a reading in memory of the victims and the survivors of the Shoah. We're also going to remember the 70 for 70 program that many of us participated in over the last 70-some-odd days. And then we're going to have Dr. Neuborn speak to us. So that's pretty much how it's going to go. I want everyone to be aware of the fact that Verizon Fios is in the room. They are recording the program, so if you do speak or you do say something, please be advised of that. Not everybody signed the release, but consider yourself on notice. Avi, did I catch everything? I think that's about it. President Simpson, please come on.
Thank you very much, Mark, and thank you all for coming tonight. My job is to introduce the 70 Days for 70 Years initiative. But before I do that, I just want to sort of share some thoughts. You have to be careful sometimes if you give me the bully pulpit. When I was thinking about this event tonight, and also when we decided to do the 70 for 70 program, I found myself contemplating why I was so passionate about it. In general, for me, Yom Hashoah programs I don't find very moving or stimulating or necessary, frankly. Our family, our entire life is built around remembering what happened in the Shoah. There are rebbeim that taught me that you don't have Mother's Day and Father's Day because every day you honor your mother and every day you honor your father. And in our family, every day is Yom Hashoah. Every single one of us is named after someone who perished in the Holocaust. Myself, my wife, and all of our children and grandchildren. And so for me, a day of remembrance is important for others, not necessarily for myself. And yet, I found myself this year very passionate about doing the 70 for 70 program and making sure that we had this event this year. And when I thought about it, I realized that it's the events around us that have made me so passionate. And the fear that I am feeling over these last few years and really over the last few months about what's happening in the world around us and the anti-Semitism that is growing. And ironically, Debbie and I were in Chicago this weekend, and when you stay in a hotel, of course, the paper of choice is USA Today. And on the front page of USA Today, on the weekend edition, was an article about a study just published out of Tel Aviv University that there's been a 40% rise in anti-Semitism in 2014 throughout the world. And that doesn't include the events that happened most recently in Paris, because this is 2014 data. It's frightening to hear what's going on. And so to have someone come and speak to us about resistance and what happened, and for us to learn from that so that we can think about the future, actually mirrors that 70 for 70 program that we did. So the 70 for 70 program was born actually in England, and it started 20 years ago as a 50 days for 50 years program, and then 60 days for 60 years, and now 70 days for 70 years. And the goal of the program was to give people an opportunity around the world, and it's grown dramatically in terms of the numbers of people involved, give people around the world a chance to learn and to study in memory of someone who perished in the Shoah, and for us to learn about how we should think about the future. And to use their words, remember the past to build the future. And certainly today, as we commemorate the events of 70, 75 years ago during World War II, and the loss of many of our families, and the genocide that happened, I think what's most important is not only to remember and the feelings, have those feelings of memory about what happened, and never to forget what happened, but really to take that energy to think about how we should be acting going forward, given what's happening around us in the world. And I hope that today's event will learn something from today's event. I hope those of you that did the readings learned something from those readings, and there's opportunity on the 70 for 70 website to continue that learning. And hopefully that will inform us as we move forward. And hopefully one day, all genocide throughout the world will be eliminated, and we won't have to live in fear. And I hope that tonight's program will help us in the beginning of that sort of an approach. Again, thank you all very, very much for coming. What we've decided to do is ask Rav Weissman to read one essay from the 70 for 70 program that I believe, I didn't choose the essay, but I believe that it speaks exactly to what we're talking about when you think about the Shoah, and you think about what happened, and you think about us as Jews around the world getting together to learn and to read, and how if we all get together, through all walks of Judaism, if we all get together, hopefully we can eliminate anti-Semitism and genocide going forward. Otherwise,